Hello, welcome to the third lesson of Algebra 1. It's called The Forms of Linear Equations. Before we move on to the actual lesson, let's take a look at the answers to the challenge questions. Here, we are asked, given the 2 points, to find the slopes of the lines. Let's take a look at this problem. Remember that the slope formula is the change in the y values over the change of the x values. So, taking a look at this one, let's do 2 minus 3 to get the change in the y values, which is -1. Now let's find the change in the x values. 4 minus 1, that is equal to 3. Now let's do -1 divided by 3 is equal to -1/3, and that is our slope. In this problem, we are given the points 5, 3, and 1, 6. As we did over here, let's take the change in the x, y values. 6 minus 3 is equal to 3. 1 minus 5 is equal to -4. Dividing 3 by -4 results in -3/4, and that is our slope for this problem. Now over here, we are given the equations of the lines, and we are asked to find the x and y intercepts. Over this equation, it is y is equal to 3x plus 4. Let's first find the x-intercept. Let's substitute 0 for y. 0 is equal to 3x plus 4. Now let's solve the equation. Subtract both sides by 4 to get like terms on both sides. -4 is equal to 3x. Now let's divide both sides by 3 to isolate the variable. -4/3 is equal to x. Therefore, our x-intercept is -4/3, 0. Now let us find the y-intercept. As said before, let's substitute 0 for the x value this time. Y is equal to 3 times 0 plus 4. 3 times 0 is equal to 0. Therefore, y is equal to 4. As a result, our answer is there. 0, 4 is our y-intercept. Now let's look at this problem. 4x plus 2y is equal to 8. First, let's find the x-intercept. 4x plus 2 times 0 is equal to 8. Any number times 0 is always equal to 0, so that immediately eliminates that part of the equation. We are left with 4x equals 8. Let's divide both sides to get x by itself. X is equal to 2. Therefore, 2, 0 is our x-intercept. Now let's find the y-intercept. As we did in the previous problem, let's substitute 0 for x. 4 times 0 plus 2y is equal to 8. 4 times 0 is equal to 0. That leaves us with 2y is equal to 8. Let's divide both sides by 2 to get y by itself. Y is equal to 4. Therefore, our y-intercept is 0, 4. Now, let's take a look at the forms of linear equations, starting with slope-intercept form. It is in the form of y is equal to mx plus b. X and y are values on the graph, or in other words, they're just values on the line. M is the slope, and b is the y-intercept. Let's take a look at this equation. Example, y is equal to 3x plus 2. In this case, the slope is equal to 3, and y-intercept is equal to 2. This is point-slope form. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. X and y are just points on the graph, any point along the line. x1 and y1 are the coordinates of one single point on the graph. M is the slope of the graph. Here's an example. Y minus 1 is equal to 5 times x minus 3. The coordinates of one point on that graph is 3, 1. The slope of this graph is 5. Standard form. ax plus by is equal to c. A, b, and c are constants where a and b are not equal to 0. X and y are points on the graph. The slope of this equation would be negative a divided by b, and the y-intercept would be c divided by b. Let's take a look at an example. 4x plus 2y is equal to 8. 4, 2, and 8 are all constants. The slope of this equation would be negative 4 divided by 2, which is equal to negative 2. The y-intercept would be 8 divided by 2, which is equal to 4. Now, in this chapter, we are going to look at converting to different forms. Converting from slope-intercept to point-slope form. Let's take a look at this form. Y is equal to 3x plus 2. First, what we have to do is find a point on this line. Input x as 1, for example, just because that value is easier to compute with. So let's take a look at the next steps. Y is equal to 3 times 1 plus 2. 3 times 1 is equal to 3, which leaves us with 3 plus 2. As a result, y is equal to 5. Therefore, we know that 1, 5 is a confirmed point on this line. The slope is equal to 3, as given in the equation. Now let's substitute. Y minus 5 is equal to 3 times x minus 1. There we have it. We have our equation. Now let's take a look at the other way, converting from point slope to slope intercept. Let's take a look at this example. Y minus 4 is equal to 2 times x minus 3. First, we have to find the y-intercept. Y minus 4 is equal to 2 times 0 minus 3. 0 minus 3 is equal to negative 3. So 2 times negative 3 is equal to negative 6. Therefore, we have the equation y minus 4 is equal to negative 6. Adding 4 to both sides leaves us with y minus is equal to negative 2. Therefore, 0, negative 2 is our y-intercept. The slope is 2, as given in the equation. So now we have all our pieces of information. Let's substitute. Y is equal to 2x plus 2. This is a bit tedious. Point slope to standard form is a bit tedious because we need to learn systems of equations first. Without that, this can get very, very, very complicated, as we do not know what the exact values are, and we have to use a trial and error process. I will give a brief introduction in this video, and in a later video, I will explain more in detail. Let's take a look at this problem. Y minus 3 is equal to 3 times x plus 4. Note the x plus 4. This tells us that our x1 value is negative 4. The slope is equal to 3, which is equal to negative a over b. Let's plug in the point into the standard form equation to see how much we know. Negative 4a plus 3b is equal to c. Now let's find the y-intercept. Y minus 3 is equal to 3 times 0 plus 4, as we substituted 0 for x. Y minus 3 is equal to 12. This is what this equation leaves us with. Therefore, y is equal to 15, and leads us to the point that our y-intercept is 0, 15. Therefore, we know that c divided by b is equal to 15, since c divided by b leads us to our y-intercept. We also know that negative a divided by b is equal to 3, because our slope is equal to negative a divided by b. Let's make both of these equations equal to each other. Let's figure out what we can get out of using this methodology. Negative a divided by b is equal to 3. C divided by b is equal to 15. This is all we know so far. Let's multiply both equations by b. Negative a is equal to 3b. C is equal to 15b. Now, let's find b. Negative a divided by 3 is equal to b. C divided by 15 is equal to b. Make both equations equal to each other, and we get negative 5a is equal to c. From here, it's a trial and error process. Like I said before, you must learn systems of equations to find a more efficient way, which I will get back to later in my later videos. Now, converting from standard form to point cell form is a much easier process. Don't worry. Let's take a look at this example. 4x plus 2y is equal to 20. First, we gotta find one point on this line, other than the intercepts. Let's take 1, just because it makes this easier. 4 times 1 plus 2y is equal to 20. 2y is equal to 16, and y is equal to 8. Therefore, we know that 1, 8 is a confirmed order pair. Let's find the slope, which is equal to negative a divided by b. That leads us to negative 2 divided by 1, or negative 2. Sorry, that's a mistake. So, y minus 1 is equal to negative 2 times x minus 8, not negative 1/2. I'm sorry for this mistake. Please pardon that. Slope, intercept, and standard form conversion. As said before, this you must learn systems of equations before learning this process, as it'll be a trial and error process if we don't know systems of equations yet. So I will explain this further in a later video. Here are some challenge questions for you to do meanwhile, to practice the skills we've learned in this video. Do you have any questions? Leave it in the comment section and I will get back to you later. Thank you for watching.